Hello everybody and welcome back to the third instalment of our candidates hustings. This hustings is for the position of the President for Charities and Community, and I have with me Callum Allison, who is one of two candidates that are running in the elections. Unfortunately, the other candidate, Holly Bruce, is unable to attend this evening, but we will continue to ask Callum some questions and we will work in a similar format to the other hustings that have taken place so far tonight. So Callum, I'll start by asking just you to talk a little bit about yourself, the role, what values and policies you're running on, and I'll give you about 90 seconds. So just whenever you're ready, if you'd like to tell whoever's watching and students a little bit about you.
No problem. Well, thanks very much for the invitation today. Yeah, like Jenny said, my name's Callum Allison, and I'll be running for the Charities and Communities position for 2015-2016. At this current point in time, I am the External Events Officer for the Charities Committee, and I've been doing that for the last year or so. It has been, quite frankly, one of the best experiences I've had in university. I've met some of the most incredible people, genuinely some of the most incredible people that anyone could meet, possibly. But I want to run for this position because, one, because of my experience, but two, because of my ideas that I'm wanting to bring to the role. I feel that when I've been talking to a lot of students, a lot of them have said that they have struggled in a sort of way to connect with the community. That they don't really, that when they come up to Aberdeen University, and not as such the local students, but students from Edinburgh, Glasgow, from international students, English students, they come up and they kind of just go to university and they don't really feel that they connect with it. So I feel that the biggest opportunity, this for myself is a fantastic opportunity, and for the university itself, to really integrate with the community, and it's something that I really feel really passionate about. I'm wanting to do this through a volunteering database, which I'll be able to talk about later on.
Perfect, that's great. Thank you very much, Callum. So now what we'll do is we'll move into a couple of questions that we've managed to collate from students walking about campus earlier today. So the first question is coming in from Matthew, and he's a third-year geography student, and he asks, what is your fundraising target for this year, and what ideas do you have to achieve it?
Okay, well, I mean, the fundraising, being in the committee for the last year or so, or being part of the whole structure, our plan was generally to get above 100,000, around that, because what we have done in the past is, we've been reaching the 90,000 mark, and we are well on our way to be doing that this year, I feel. But, so I would say that my target would be, to maybe go up even further than that, to get to maybe 105,000. Maybe just every single year. So it's steady stepping stones, just getting higher and higher every year, which is what we've been able to do. Ideas in which I want to kind of bring into it would be bringing loads of events like fashion shows, something that we tried this year. We really did try this year. It just didn't work out, and it's something that in the likes of St Andrews has really worked well. They managed to raise about 28,000 pounds just for one event. I also feel that including the sports and societies as well is something that is hugely important. In a recent study, I think it was something like they're in the top 10 in the whole of the UK for societies and clubs, sports clubs. So I really feel that it's something that we need to just integrate together and share the responsibility of charities and integrating with the community better.
Perfect, thank you, Callum. And the second question comes from Bill, and Bill is a third-year student, and he asks, events such as Torture Parade are attracting less interest. How would you ensure that your plans for this year are relevant to both students and the community?
Well, firstly, yeah, thanks a lot, Bill, for asking the question. But at the same time, I would argue to a point that the Torture Parade is actually getting more popular every year. It's something that is such a great connection between the university and the community in general, and it connects RGU and Aberdeen College, and just it integrates everyone together, and I feel it's a really positive thing. But could you just remind me of the last bit of the question?
How would you ensure that your plans for this year are relevant to both students and the community?
Right, okay, so basically one of my main manifesto ideas is to really bring the community and the students together. And I feel that the best way to do that is we work with about, I think it's either 37 or 38 charities a year, in which I want to create a volunteering database that would help students, because I know a lot of students that want to get involved and really want to get involved, but they just don't really know how. So I feel that having this volunteering database that tells them about opportunities to work with these local charities is a huge, huge opportunity for anyone to get involved. And again, like I said, people want to get involved, they just don't know how to. And I feel that through this database and through other ideas I have, through the societies, through different events, I really do feel that these will integrate together to really, bring community together in a general sense.
Perfect, that's great, thank you, Callum. And the next question we will ask will be more remit specific. And Callum has had a little bit of information about what type of question this might be, but not the specific question. So the remit specific question, Callum, for you is as follows. The community committee, of which you will be the chair, has various roles for students, including remits focusing on schools outreach and halls reps. Do you have any plans to address these areas if you are elected?
Well, the schools and the halls representatives have done, again, a great job in the past, etc. But I do feel that more work needs to be done. We need to maybe create more like one of my manifesto ideas is to include a lot more student ideas, etc., bring in more survey ideas and really integrate them. So yeah, I feel that working with schools, working with halls representatives, etc., is really, really important, and in gaining as much support as possible. And but I feel that the best way to do that is to bring as much student student thoughts, student surveys together, and really create a better understanding for the students to get involved with these type of projects like the schools and the schools and the halls reps. And the halls reps, yes.
Perfect, thank you. And if anybody has any questions for Callum or would like to get involved in the conversation, please tweet us using the hashtag AUSA elections if you have any questions or comments. So the next question, Callum, is obviously the prepared question. I know you've probably had some time to answer this as it's the one that's been given to all candidates. So Callum, what do you see as being the biggest challenges in this role?
Well, from my experience from the last year, our biggest challenge in general has been getting volunteers to come and work within the committee. So for example, in RAG Week, we managed to raise more than any money, and that's not something that I'm putting on myself. I'm entirely saying that this is something that was done through huge amounts of work from the top to bottom, and I really feel that the biggest struggle was at that time was getting enough people to kind of work with us. So it was a lot, with students having so much time-consuming work, etc. I really feel that getting volunteers is something that has been a struggle this year, and it will maybe continue to be a struggle next year. But of course, with my ideas, I really feel that with the likes of the database, with of including more students, etc., and making a broader responsibility for students through society, etc., I really do feel that that's a challenge, but an opportunity also to break down. And I really do feel that I can do it.
Perfect, thank you, Callum. And lastly, we'll have a question that's been pulled from our Twitter feed, so just any students or viewers that are interested in asking the candidates questions. So this question has come in from Jonathan, and he asks, what are your first 30 days going to look like?
Well, the first 30 days, I mean, I'll firstly say thanks a lot, Jonathan, but I will also say that the first 30 days are generally training for the position, and of which every candidate, apart from those who have been put into position from the year before, will need, and that lasts for maybe about, as far as I know, from about 3 to 4 weeks. But the thing that I would be able to bring into that position, and this is something because I know and I've been in the committee and I am the only nominee up for this role that has been in the committee, and I will have a better understanding and a better kind of ability to be able to run with it from the beginning than my other by the other nominee. But in saying that, I think that the first 30 days will just be a lot of training, but a lot of me bringing my own ideas and starting off. And a lot of the work will be done to create the database, to be creating student surveys, to be creating as much opportunity before people come back before people come back to the university. And when people get back, they'll see that the work I've done in that 30 days will be very obvious.
Perfect, thank you, Callum. And now, lastly, I'll just offer you a few moments just to make some closing remarks to tell students why you're the best candidate and why they should vote for you to be the President for Charities and Community in the elections. Okay,
well, firstly, I'd just like to say that as a fourth year student now, running for a sabbatical office position is incredible, because it doesn't feel that long ago in which I was in first year, and I'm now running for a position that's very prestigious and a position that I really, really do feel that I can bring a lot to. It's up to you, of course, who you vote for. I know Holly as well will be saying the same, and I really do feel that I can bring so much to this position, and I would really appreciate if people could vote for me. But yeah, thanks a lot, and my main manifesto idea will be to bring the students of Aberdeen University to the community of Aberdeen, something that's seen as a bit of a struggle for some students in the past, and I really do feel that I can do that better than. I really do feel that I can do that better than most.
Perfect, thank you very much. And if you are interested in finding out about Callum's policies and why he's running in these elections, you can go onto the website and check out the manifestos for both Callum and Holly, and you can see who you think is the better candidate. But that's all for now. Callum, thank you very much. And we will be back at 6:30 with the hustings for the Welfare and Equal Opportunities President. See you later.